Traditionally, lean has been thought to be primarily a manufacturing thing, and definitely not something that would infiltrate into the office processes, and especially not something that would have any effect on the product and manufacturing design processes. Now, in many organizations, product and manufacturing design groups, they don't seem to work together too well. They oftentimes don't interact or see each other, and they're separated by giant walls within the same facility. As such, there's no forum for creative discussion to work on potential problems together. There's a strong department focus rather than a process focus, which thwarts creativity, and as such, there's just a ton of waste pursuing product and process designs that are just not optimized. And I thought it was so strange that why is he asking me? He's this vice president, I'm just a college kid. It was all about humility. I was a student, and he was learning from me and asking of my opinion. That's what true leadership is about. Now, there are many studies that show that 80 to 90% of the cost of a product or service are administrative costs or non-manufacturing costs. And since such a high percentage of employees in a design-responsible company are engineers with high salaries, there is an enormous amount of waste and cost that's probably never been looked at, and just a huge potential in saving dollars. Now, I did this with one client, and we witnessed over 180 handoffs. For one design project, we were looking to decrease this down to 70 handoffs, a huge decrease. The number of checks and the reviews was enormous, and the defects, those that were not making it through each check or review, was absolutely staggering. Now, can you imagine doing this in a room full of engineers? I think you would see a lot of waste. You'd see people walking around, involved in discussions, slow discussions, not very effective or efficient. You'd probably see mounds of inventory in the form of paperwork, designs and specs, prints, drawings. You'd also see many different interruptions of their work from many different people within the organization who had technical questions. And you'd also probably see a lot of ineffective, dull, long, boring meetings. This is what we typically see in the world of engineering. With all of this waste, there's a real need to change. But where do you start? You should start by doing Gemba walks or Gemba sits in the engineering departments. So my challenge to you is to observe the meetings, observe the engineering meetings that you participate in, and observe them for waste. Benchmarking can be great, but it can also be a problem at the same time. See, we don't want to use benchmarking just to copy what others do without understanding the theory or the principles behind what is successful. That's the true essence. That's the root cause of the success. We made the transformation into focus factories, which means essentially we broke the plant up into 3 focus factories, kind of making them each much more smaller and autonomous. So let's depict it like this. We have focus factory 1, focus factory 2, and we're completely cross-functional and completely autonomous. This worked really well. And these meetings were not scheduled once a month or once a week. They were scheduled when they needed to happen. Very much lean-oriented and lean-minded. Now this leads to also the very popular phase gate approach that many of us are used to, okay? And in the phase gate approach, it goes something like this. Maybe they get approval, go on to phase 3, and hit another gate, and on the process goes. And the team gets together and say, whoa, no, we got a problem here. This is not what we talked about. This is not what the customer wants. But meanwhile, what we've done is we've lost 2 or 3 months. The engineer must start over. We've lost 2 or 3 months. The customer is unhappy. Why is that? It's because of this typical batching of meetings. But we also should be doing Gemba as the customer experiences the product. You want to know how much waste? Try doing a complete value stream map on the actual process of your current state. Bring your team together. Bring a cross-functional team of maybe product engineers and a process engineer, a manufacturing engineer, and salespeople, and purchasing and so forth. Then bring that team together, and they will be amazed as they walk the process together. So how does this fit in with the hoshin kanri process? We have a mission or a quality policy, and we translate that into specific strategies of the organization. Those strategies are then translated into specific objectives within the organization. The objectives then are translated into detailed goals. So let's talk about innovation. The management guru, Peter Drucker, once said, "Innovation is the specific instrument of entrepreneurship. It's the act that endows resources with a new capacity to create wealth." Well, creating wealth, I think that everyone in top management likes to hear those words. We all do. So no one has a problem with that part. However, the other part of the quote, creation of a culture of entrepreneurship and endowing resources with a new capacity. Some management systems and management personnel may have a difficult time with those terms, especially in a command and control culture.